Alright, welcome back. This video is on the chapter for doing PowerPoint. Now before we even start PowerPoint, we really need to talk about what it means to give a presentation. Now you've seen me do presentations all the time, but let's talk about what it is it means. So if I'm providing PowerPoint slides to a meeting, I never designed the slides to replace me, okay? They're not designed to make me obsolete. If I'm the presenter, I want the slides to augment me or help me keep on focus, help keep the group on focus, and help things so I don't have to memorize things. I don't have to memorize, how many kumquats we sold in California last year. That kind of information will be up on the screen. And so it's designed as an assistive kind of technology to help me be a better presenter. But don't ever think that a PowerPoint presentation is designed to be useful without a presenter, because that's not what its intent is. So don't you guys do that. And heaven forbid, don't ever pop the slides up and read the contents of the slides to the audience. Oh, geez, that's horrible. So no, never read the slides. You can talk about the slides, and typically, you're not going to be facing the screen, right? Typically, you're going to be facing the people. And I try to make the PowerPoint slides not all that flashy and things moving around and grab their attention. A lot of people go on or grab their attention. Well, I don't want their attention up on the dang screen. I want their attention on me. So I don't go, personally, I don't go with flashy colors and all the rest of that stuff. My PowerPoint slides are kind of boring on purpose, because I want them to pay attention to what I'm saying, not glued to the screen reading what's going on. Because if they're reading the slide, they're not listening to me. Okay, you guys got it? Cool. Well, let's begin. So obviously, to make PowerPoint work, I'm going to have to launch Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, so I'm going to go to All Programs, go to my Microsoft Office, and find my good old PowerPoint guy. Okay, now one of the first things you should do is kind of pick a theme for your document. Now right now it just has this naked black and white theme, which probably is not exactly what we want. So there's some things you can do here. I can go to this design tab across the top, and it's going to show me a whole bunch of themes. And you can kind of, and there's more than that. I mean, this is kind of cool way of showing them all. And again, not every one of these is suitable for everybody, but there's quite an awful lot of these themes that you can go out on the internet and pick additional themes. Here's the one, for example, that I used on that presentation that I gave way back when. Okay, so some of these themes are just better suited than others for a particular industry. So, for example, there's one that has like a circuit board out, kind of a look to it. So that'd be kind of cool if it was like a high-tech company, right? And some of these others, I mean, like this one kind of looks artsy. It's called Black Tie. And if this looks like, okay, to me, this looks like a chocolate company. Okay, somebody who's selling fine jewelry, things of that nature. So if you know your industry, you can pick these kinds of themes to kind of match. So you don't just pick a theme, like this one right here. That one, maybe if you're an architect or an artist, with things at bizarre angles make sense to you, that might work. I wouldn't try this for a bank. That'd be a little odd. So picking the correct theme, and correct is in quotation marks, picking an appropriate theme is step one. Now, you may work in an organization where they're going to tell you what the theme is. They're going to say, oh, well, here's the corporate theme that we use for all of our presentations. You must use this. Boom. Okay, so if that's the case, well, then you can just ignore everything I just told you. So anyway, go to the design and themes to find and apply a theme. I'm going to pick, I don't know, this one for no particular reason. I'll actually find one with a little bit more color. Dang. Okay, let's pick this one. Okay, doesn't really matter. All right, so I picked a theme. And what I'm looking at now is I am looking at the title slide. And so the title slide is typically what you're going to have up and running when people come into the conference room. Now, I've done this scenario where I'll talk about, you know, the title of the meeting and the date and time and stuff, so people can, even if somebody was just walking down the hall, they can look in and go, ooh, I might want to stick around for that, right? So just some introductory information so that if they happen to be stumbling by, or the reverse, the guy's in there and he goes, oh man, I think I'm in the wrong meeting. Okay, right? So it's designed kind of like an advertisement of, you know, coming attractions. Here's what we're going to find. Okay, so here's my title, and they tell you exactly what to do. Click here to add a title. Gee, what do you think I ought to do? Maybe like click here and add a title? Wow. Okay, so this could be something like, you know, I don't know, third quarter financial report. Something, you know, whatever it is we're doing. Okay, cool. If I wanted to put, you know, click here for a subtitle. Now, these things are completely optional. If I left this off, okay, I did not click there, those words are not going to print, okay? It's just kind of holding me out for where I would want to go to add additional text if I wanted. But if I don't click there, you know, when it comes time to display this on the screen or comes time to print it, the words click to add subtitle will not appear. Okay, cool. So let me add something in here. I don't know what. How about presented by something? Something. Maybe the date. Maybe the day's date. You know, something. So by you know, Joe Blow and whatever, you know, the date is. You know, this is, you know, the 30th of June thing. So something that kind of lets you know what's going on. So that's your title slide. Okay, so moving back around, I have a paragraph up here, and I have this little shaded box. It's called a text box. So if I want to move up to the next text box, I just click anywhere inside here, so I can move back and forth between these two text boxes to be able to add text, remove text, change things of that nature. Let's say, for example, I wanted to select all the text in this box. Well, using the mouse, I could, you know, go through and do this. And that is a cool way, and so I wanted to increase the font size or change the color or something. Let's make that bold for no particular reason. So I'm going to go to my home section back over here, and I have all sorts of, and this should look pretty doggone familiar because it's practically the same thing in Microsoft Word, where you can make this thing bold and italics and all those kinds of things. Cool? So I just made that bold and italics. I'm going to show you a sneaky trick. I click here and I click here. What happens if I triple click? You know, you heard of double clicking, right? If I triple click on this, it's going to highlight everything inside that box. Watch this. Boing, boing, boing. Cool? One more time. One click, two click. Two click got me the word. All right. One click, two click gets me the word. One click, two click, three clicks gets me everything. Cool trick, huh? Okay. So now I have my title slide. So it's time for me to add an extra slide where we're going to talk about. So they have this little doodad right here that just says new slide. Now, to tell you the truth, I've never actually used this theme, so I don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to be a surprise to me too. So I'm just going to hit the new slide button. Okay, that's pretty cool. I got a little gray bar at the top and a matching gray bar over here. That's not bad. That looks pretty cool. With a nice lime green boundary on the outside edge. So this is a pretty cool theme. I kind of sort of like it. Okay, now, how did the machine know that I didn't need more than one title slide? Well, it kind of figured that out. I figured it's probably only going to be one. But, you know, you love those little down arrow things? If I'm going to hit the little down arrow, it says, oh, what would you like? Would I want another title slide? Do I want one with content? Do I want one with it has two content areas? Do I want one with just a title? Do I want one that's blank? Do I want, you know, vertical? So if you're having different sections of your presentation, you could have like almost like a section break section. So if you just click, it's going to assume the first one is going to be title and the next one is going to be one of these content guys. That's just how it does it. Okay. So let's kind of do one more time. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but each one of these slides should have some sort of a title. So I don't know. This is going to be, you know, upcoming events, whatever. And if you do all the slides the same way, the fonts that are used here are going to be used through all the slides, and it'll all look professional because it's using the same fonts and the same sizes and every single thing. Now, you might look at that and go, you know, they're sure wasting an awful lot of the screen real estate there. I mean, look at all this white space up here, and you know, they got this big fat border and all that. I mean, geez, you could fit an awful lot more in here if you got rid of all that junk and just got to typing text. No. There's essentially a rule of thumb here. And the rule of thumb is this stuff is designed to be run in a conference room. And therefore, you want to be able to read it without having your glasses on. You're not going to be issuing binoculars to the people in the back row. Okay? So, bottom line is, the titles are typically somewhere around 36 point rather. Somewhere around 36 point for the title. And here, the text in here should be between 24 and 32 point. That's the size range for these things. Later on, we're going to be printing these guys, and we're going to print them quarter size, and we're going to make them. And if you can still read them after they've been cut down into quarter size, then you know you've got the right font size. So don't make your stuff tiny. If you have a lot of information you want to talk about upcoming events, just make another slide. Okay? So upcoming events. This is going to be, you know, annual picnic. I don't know, investors meeting. That kind of stuff. Okay, so I'm just typing some stuff. And so, once again, when I'm presenting this, I may say more. I'm not going to talk about the annual picnic. I'm saying, don't forget now, we got the annual picnic coming up. You know, something, right? I'm going to be embellishing it. I'm going to be talking to the audience, right? Because this is not a substitution for me. This is to keep me on track to make sure I didn't forget to talk about the annual picnic. That's all. Okay? I'm not reading it, and I'm not replacing me. So that's kind of a cool way. And all the same features we talked about in Microsoft Word. I mean, again, I can highlight a particular thing and make it italics. You know, I can go in here and make it bold. You guys know what we're talking about. We've done all that before. I can go in here and make that a little bit bigger. Okay, cool. Now, sometimes you might have a bullet point. Almost all of this is done with bullet lists. I'm not exactly certain why. It's just kind of cool. And that's kind of been the way to do it. So instead of having annual picnic and then a completely another topic, I want to talk a little bit about the annual picnic, that it's going to be at you know, next June, or you know, next month, or who's the chairperson or something like that. So right here, I'm going to hit a carriage return. You know, got my cursor at the end of picnic, and I'm going to do a carriage return. And it gave me another bullet right underneath. And so that's not exactly what I want, but I'm going to go ahead and type and say, you know, John Doe is, you know, picnic chairperson. But I don't want it at the same level. It's not quite as important as the topics of annual picnic and investors meeting. So I want it to be a sub-bullet. So what I'm going to do, remember how we changed indentation levels when we were in Microsoft Word? Well, I'm going to click anywhere inside this line, and up here they have these indentation things where I can increase and decrease indentation. Well, I can't decrease it anymore because it's already hugging the margin here. Now, pay attention to the color, shape, and size of the bullet. When I hit this, it's going to indent this guy. It changed the size of the font and changed the size of the bullet. Isn't that pretty cool? Okay, this is probably a good place to stop for the 15-minute mark. We'll pick this thing up again in just a few.